Okay.
Sydney, Australia.
Are you really in Sydney right now? So you're like this morning time for you then.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, in the future. So I'm coming to you from tomorrow.
You are coming from the future. All right. Let's get started in a few seconds. Um, Sid, by the way, do you have anything you want to share before I kind of do the intro or do you have any slides later on? I need to.
Yeah, I've got some slides so we can
Okay.
go through, but we can do that
Well, we'll do a quick intro first and just a little bit about your story and kind of go from there and then we'll go into a little bit about the program, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, let me just give everyone a chance to join.
Yeah, Jeff, it's literally the 1st of October here. So yeah.
It's rent day already where you're at.
Yeah.
All right. Michael said he's in Tahiti right now on a Carnival ship. Your connection, is it pretty good, Michael, out there on the ship?
Yes, they definitely. I think they use Starlink now, and it's a far cry better than what they used to have for the internet. The internet's been working well.
That's great. I mean, gosh, that's amazing. Because I know on a cruise, it's like two. It doesn't that thing doesn't really move much at all. They charge your arm and leg for it. All right, welcome everyone. Let's get started. Uh, Thank you everyone for joining today. Today is Tuesday, September 30th. It's the last session of mentorship for this particular month. I am really happy we're going to have an international discussion today about rewards programs because I think it's one of those things where it's very US centric based. Many times we have these discussions. Sid here used to run a program that maybe when you walk in the lounge, you probably pull off the counter that Executive Traveler magazine, or you've looked at it maybe on the plane. Um, and he's now running this program called Passport Rewards, Passport Points. Sid, is it Passport Points or Passport Rewards? I wasn't sure
So
how.
rewards is the program, and points are our currency.
Okay. So the rewards, Passport Rewards is the name of the program, and the currency itself is Passport Points. Sid, can you tell us a little bit about maybe uh, what your background, your origin, like how do you decide that this was going to be, before you started this, where did you come from?
Yeah, so I have been running a media publication called Executive Traveler for about 15 years now. I've always been in media, and that publication was always about who's got the best seats, who's got the best hotel, what's the best business class, or what's the best first class. Now, 15 years ago, not all business class seats were flat beds when you were traveling internationally. So I used to work in the car industry and would attend car shows, and the car company would ask me, "Oh, which airline do you want to fly with?" And I'd often just go with the default. And then one day, which was often Qantas or let's say Cathay Pacific, but one day I flew Singapore Airlines, and they had an amazing business class, and I thought, okay, this is really interesting because the experience is so much better. Obviously, we take first lie flat seats for granted today, but back when we started, that was a big deal, and there was, I'd say, more differentiation between the leading carriers. So I started this publication based off that. We were around well before all these, points blogs and things like that, and our focus has always been not so much points, but status and what you could do with it. And that was a big deal because a lot of our readers, even to this day, they fly for work primarily. A lot of them are business travelers. And again, if you're running your own business, you get to choose which airline you fly and which say alliance that you want to divert your flights into to get the status that you want. Um, so that's my background. Over the years, I talked to a lot of our readers. We did a lot of surveys, and we asked them, what are your frustrations with loyalty programs? So we're seeing a lot of that play out today, where programs are devaluing, and or they're something happens in the rest of the business that changes their availability. It becomes more difficult to redeem flights, or they might lose a particular partner. And I think everyone agrees that a flexible rewards currency is the most powerful, because even if one of those partners makes that change that's detrimental to the value of the program, there's still other partners that you can transfer into, so you hedge your bets.
I appreciate that. So really, Passport Rewards is a flexible points program similar to what we would find with American Express membership rewards or Chase Ultimate Rewards. So it is a full ecosystem that can transfer to other airline partners as well as hotels.
Yep, airline partners, and our global hotel partner is Accor. And we've just launched, so we are expecting to have quite a few additional airline partners. So especially, I know in the US, there are some programs that have quite a lot of partners, but we expect to be onboarding another 8 to 10 airline partners in the coming 6 months or so.
Can you give us an idea? What are some of the airline partners? I don't know if you have in your presentation, we'll cover that, but
so transfer partners. So we have Air France, Accor, Aeromexico, Cathay, Qatar, Etihad, Turkish, and Hainan. So quite a few different partners, and we're expecting to have more from Europe join us very soon as well.
That's fantastic. No Australian carriers, no Qantas or Virgin. I'm just curious.
So in Australia, the market's quite different to the US. It's actually quite easy to earn points in Australia, but those programs are quite hard to redeem in. Our focus has been to onboard programs where we know that there's lots of availability. So for example, Cathay, if you want to fly to basically all over Asia from America, they've got, I think they've just launched Seattle, but they fly from all over the States to all over Asia, and they've got lots of availability. The points are pretty good value. So, that's a great partner, and people can earn, and I know that they'll have a pretty good redemption experience as well.
That's fantastic.
Air France is the other one. Cathay is already a partner. But Air France is another one that's really popular in the States. To fly to Europe, it's 60,000 miles one way. And the really good thing about Air France is you can also book Delta domestic flights. I think they start from 5,000 miles as well. So that's a pretty low, threshold to be booking domestically as well.
Less than what Delta charges their own members.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. We see that with a few programs, like with Qatar, for example, domestically in Australia, they charge less than their local carriers. So we have some really interesting partners, especially if you're doing those international flights. But then there's also the option for domestic via Air France and Delta as well.
That's fantastic. What motivated you to go into this route from a publication to running a rewards program, Sid? I'm just kind of curious. What was there not a program that maybe fit the Australian market at the time, or you felt business travelers maybe didn't have much choices outside of their own airline programs?
Yeah, it's so a few things. We have quite a lot of migrants in Australia as well. And so, for example, let's say you've migrated from China. It's very hard for you to earn and let's say you go home every year to visit your family. It's very hard for you to earn in that carrier that you're working with internationally. So that was one of the use cases that we found. Another use case was that people felt like they were trapped in one program, and they couldn't, and they were devaluing constantly, and so they were trapped. I know, for example, my mother, she's got a few 100,000 points, and because she can't be bothered spending the time looking, obviously I help her today, but so she's got these points that essentially are not worth anything for her because it's too hard.
Okay.
So that's another use case, and then also the ability to earn in these really amazing programs that is it's practically impossible outside of that country or without using a credit card. So in Australia, we have Air Canada Aeroplan as a partner. We don't have them for the US, Canada yet, but we are working on that. It's very hard to earn in that currency. So I wanted to create a program that allowed you to earn in lots of different categories. So we have, I think, 4,000 retailers in the States and I think 2,000 in Canada, and basically be able to transfer them into a whole bunch of different currencies. And what motivated me was just that, I could see that this was a real problem, not just in Australia, not just in the US, in Europe as well. The card market is quite challenging to earn points with. There's nothing like what we do in Europe. So that's another, focus point, UK and Europe for us.
So one of the things about it is that you don't need to have a credit card to earn points with Passport. It's outside of having to sign up for a credit card, you could be able to earn points that way, is what you're saying. And through
and you stack on top of your credit card if you pay with your credit card, right? So these points stack on top. You're not losing anything by using our platform, and it's just an additional way to earn points. And because we've just launched, we're just getting started. We will have really good tactical offers in market flowing through, because the other thing that brands love is that people are earning points instead of, say, cashback or something else. They think it's better for their brand value, and so we're seeing a lot of premium brands talk to us about offering points rather than, where they're not working with a cashback or other provider.
That's an interesting perspective, Sid. So you're saying that if you're working to a luxury brand, they like it or prefer that someone's earning rather than just doing a cashback program?
Absolutely, because points are a bonus for the customer rather than a discount. Right. So luxury brands are all about protecting their brand value and their brand perception. And so this is just a bit of insight. It's industry. It's part of the industry, but yeah, that's the feedback that we get, that points are a bonus, and points are something that people are working towards, let's say a redemption. And so there's a different psychological desire for earning points than just getting a discount or a cashback.
So that's a really interesting perspective there. All right. Jeff's asked, when you talk about brands, are we talking about retail brands or also airline brands as well? Which one are we talking about?
Well, so I'm talking about retail brands in this instance, but also airline brands are very protective of their loyalty program. So the reason why we could do this and bring together these airlines is because we've been working with them for 15 years on marketing campaigns and all that activity. And again, this is more of an industry insider thing, but their loyalty program and their brand guidelines are extremely important. So they had the trust in us to partner with us to be able to work with them.
Sid, I know you're going to add on more. Are there some airlines that are harder to get on board than others? And if they are, what makes them harder? Is it their tech stack, or is it their unwillingness to work with outside brands? Like, why don't we see airlines like American, for example, work with more programs? Can you give us a little insight on that?
Yeah, a few different reasons. So commercial reasons, they may have an exclusivity, or they may have a strategy to say that we will only work with one credit card. So we know, for example, Delta with Amex and so forth, and that's just their strategy. Some of them are looking for volume, so they want to say, okay, well, are you going to buy 200 million points from us in a year, and can you commit to that? And as a new program, we're just starting out, so that can be challenging. And then the tech is a really big one, because a lot of these airlines are running on legacy tech. Like, I'm talking 30, 40, 50-year-old technology, which is all like command line level technology. And it's a huge transformation for them to upgrade. I think Emirates, for example, has been really open about the complexity of their program, and I think that it's taken them 5 years plus to even get towards, and they're still not there. But modernizing the airline loyalty and operations system is very challenging. So some airlines are challenging to work with, because even if you agree on commercials and you agree on everything else, you're at the back of a 2-year queue for the IT department.
Sid, I was talking to an industry person the other day, and we were talking about how Emirates and their relationship with the banks, as they sell miles to the banks. I was asking him, like, why were they offline, and why is the 1-to-1 transfer become now 1 to 0.8? And he was telling me that the reason is Emirates kind of views themselves as a premium airline, and they want to up the cost of their mileage program. Ultimately, he believes that most of the airlines are either going to drop it or they're going to pay more ante up. Or that's why some of them have decided just to reduce that 1-to-1 transfer. Have you heard anything differently, or any other perspective on Emirates on why their transfer ratio is no longer 1-to-1? Have they increased their costs?
I think so. I would agree with that person that they have decided their strategy is that we are a premium airline, and they've also substantially increased their carrier charges or taxes or whatever they're called, because I guess the service that they provide, especially in first class, their business class is very good, but their first class is, I don't know if you've ever flown it. It's mind-blowing stuff. And so because they've got this incredible halo product, I think that they've decided, we're going to make people work really hard for it. We're going to get them to invest a substantial sum of money in terms of on top of the points that they're already spending. And that is their strategy. And I don't think it's a bad strategy, because it is such a desirable product. But it's quite different to what other airlines are doing. Some airlines view their loyalty program, most of them view them as a way to make a lot of money. And the more transfer partners they have, the more banks they work with, the more money they make. So it is a different strategy, and they're big enough that I believe they're the largest international carrier on the planet. So in terms of like the international travel, because they don't have a domestic market, so their entire business is facilitated by connecting people from one point to another around the world.
Sid, I'm curious, of your transfer partners, do you feel like there's if it were me or if it were you and you had to transfer your passport points to a particular partner or partners, which are some of the better ones that you would think you would recommend people transfer to?
So I definitely think Air France has got really outsized value. As I mentioned, 60,000 points to Europe from basically anywhere in the States. They've got pretty good availability. Air France is a great carrier. KLM is a great carrier as well. And then I think Qatar is a fantastic one. Again, Qatar's OneWorld, so you can use those Qatar points to book American flights. And they have a lot of OneWorld availability. So again, you can use Qatar to book British Airways or American to Europe. And then I would say in terms of I'd say Cathay is another really good program, because they have and this is just anecdotal from my own personal experience because I fly Cathay pretty regularly. They have quite a lot of upgrade availability. So, we often think of just points for booking flights, but if you're flying to Asia, then they usually have quite a good upgrade program, and the cost is quite effective as well. So if you book premium economy, they have premium economy on most of their flights. You can do that upgrade, and it's quite good value.
Awesome. Sid, I'll let you take over the presentation if you'd like to share something.
Sure.
More happy. Yeah, we can get started.
Sure. Aeromexico is the other one where we find that a lot of people holiday there, so that's really good value. I'm just gonna.
By the way, your Aeromexico points, is it a 1-to-1, 1-to-1?
Yeah, it's a 1-to-1.
1-to-1, okay.
And they have great availability to Cancun and Cozumel and all these places. So yeah. Let me share this.
Folks, if you have questions, go ahead and put it in the drop it here. As we have Sid here with Sid Raja. It's rare. It's not all the time we have an industry insider who actually is talking to the programs. So I find that this is a really interesting conversation we're having over here today about a brand new program called Passport Points. And I think this is probably one of the first times you guys are going to hear about it. And you'll probably hear more about it as time goes by. But, so exclusive here. Thank you so much, Sid, once again, for joining us to talk about this.
Thank you, Ben, for having me. Really good to show this to your audience. So as I mentioned, our currency is Passport Points, very flexible currency, and lets you book across the three key airline alliances. So we have a OneWorld, we have a Star, and we have a SkyTeam partner. The way it works is you either you shop through our site or you install a browser extension, and that will prompt you when you're at a partner store. We have, I think, over 5,000 stores in the States, so a lot of coverage from places like Walgreens to Saks and you name it. One of the unique things that we offer is the ability to accelerate your points. So depending on the tier that you're in, the points that you earn, you can actually pay to accelerate them. So you're building up your points balance on a monthly basis if you want, and that can be up to 12x. And then once you're happy with the points, with the amount of points that you have, you can transfer them out to various partners. I've tested this myself, and all of our partners transfer within around 1 to 2 minutes. So you're not stuck in the situation where you found a great award seat and you're waiting to get the points in your account and then they're gone. I made a booking through Air France, and I transferred my points and I did the booking. I timed it was under 2 minutes. So that's really important for us as well. So here's just an example of the actual points earned that you could do. With Walgreens, you might earn 1.5 points on your Amex card, and then with us, you'll earn extra points. That's a double stack example, but then the triple stack is Macy's has their Star Rewards program. So depending on your tier, you earn those, you earn your Amex points, and then you can earn 2 points per dollar through our program on top of everything else that you're earning as well.
So just to clarify, so they would go to Passport Points to start their shopping process, takes them to the Walgreens or Macy's store, correct? Like a shopping portal?
Yeah, correct.
Does it work for hotels as well?
Yes, it does. So we have some hotel partners as well. But they're part of the network of merchants, and we will be adding, I believe, another 3,000 or 4,000 in the next few weeks as well. So a lot of the stores that you shop at already, you'll be able to start earning passport points on top of what you're already earning. So these are examples of our global airline partnerships. Some of them are not active in the States. So I think Aeroplan and AirAsia Rewards are not active. But one program actually that we can work one-to-one to is Etihad Guest. And that's a really interesting one because they partner with JetBlue. So you can book a whole bunch of JetBlue flights. So LA to New York, business class, 50,000 points, which is really good value. And then also across the pond, say New York to London on JetBlue as well. And Etihad also partners with American Airlines. So if you want to book American, you can transfer to Etihad or Qatar. And again, you've got that choice of what you want to do. Qatar, some of your members may not be aware of Avios. Avios is a shared currency between Qatar, British Airways, Finnair, and a couple of other airlines. So once you have the Avios currency, you can actually convert those Qatar Avios into British Airways Avios. So you can book those almost natively as well. And then the other element of the business is our travel club. So we have, when you join, it's a free membership, which is at the silver tier. But we have two paid memberships. One is $199 US, and the other one is $299 US. And the key benefits for that.
Sid, I'm sorry. Before we go into the travel club,
sorry,
can we
yeah.
go back? Can we go back
Sure.
to 2 slides back? You actually showed something about the accelerator. Can you go
Yeah.
back more? The accelerate points. Can we talk a little bit about accelerate points and how does that work?
Sure. So every month when you earn points through our portal, you earn a certain number of points. At the end of the month, you get the option to accelerate them. And so we'll be making a slight change, and it'll cost you 1.5 US cents to accelerate per point. So that as a regular available offer, I think is really competitive because it's only when some airlines do very big bonus deals that you actually get a better value than that. And essentially, yeah, you're buying those points on top of what you're already earning.
So can we when it says up to 12x monthly points, so if I earn 10,000 points today in this month, we can multiply those points up. We can basically buy a bonus, or you're saying in essence?
Yes.
Is that percentage like predetermined, or like how much the 2x, 10x, like how do we get up to 12x, I guess, or is that something that
so if you're a free tier member, you can accelerate up to 4x. If you're a gold tier member, you can accelerate up to 8x. And then if you're a platinum member, you can accelerate up to 12x. And currently silver members pay 1.65 cents, but we will be making the price the same across the board. We're just changing the level of acceleration. And part of the reason for doing this was because depending on your situation, how much you want to spend on your credit card, it can be quite hard if for a family to generate hundreds of thousands of points, or if you've got a big family and you need to earn 400 or 500,000 points to take them on holiday because you've got 3 or 4 kids. How do you actually generate that? Credit card sign up bonuses go so far, and so this is an opportunity for someone to be able to really boost their monthly points earned.
Okay, did you say the 1.65 per point, correct? 1 cent, 1.65 per point.
That's what it is now, but in the next week or so, it'll change to 1.5 US cents per point.
1.5. Okay, so can I do quick math here? Let's just say
Sure.
I wanted to if I earn 10,000 points, that comes out to 150 US dollars. How many X's will I go up if I were to do that?
It's up to you every month. So you can do 2x. So let's say you've earned 10,000 points, you can buy up to 20,000 more if you do 2x, or 40,000 more if you do 4x. It's really your choice. And so if you have a redemption that you have in mind, then you can really get there much more quickly than just earning at the normal rate.
So if I earn 10, I could potentially go 10x. So I could pay for another 90,000, you're saying?
100,000.
100,000 at a
Yeah.
1.1.5 cent value.
Yeah.
That's not a bad way to buy points, actually.
It's very competitive when you look at as I mentioned, the only time when airlines are cheaper than us, and there might be a few cents cheaper, is when they're doing really tactical offers that are, kind of time limited, 1 month or a few weeks. This is available year round. So you can choose to 2x 1 month, or you can choose to 10x the next month. It's really your choice, and it's at a really competitive rate, and that converts out to our partners.
I don't usually talk about buying miles, but in this sense, folks, if you're listening, I'm kind of thinking right now, I'm like, this is a good buying miles strategy. If you're planning to buy miles, instead of waiting for an airline to have a sale, this could be an opportunity to do that and buy it on demand. Okay, I like it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sid.
and run the numbers. Sometimes will be more competitive. Sometimes the airlines might be more competitive, but this is a year round.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think at 1.5 you're in the running there. You're in the running. I mean, sure, there are some times where life miles you can get it for 1.32, but that's not like an all the time, every
Yeah,
time situation. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
exactly.
Are you going to add Lufthansa one day? Here's the thing. I'm like, I'd love to see
Yeah.
Lufthansa. I'd love to see some of the other programs that are, I don't know if Asiana is going to last, but it'd be nice to see some of these other programs out there.
It's Lufthansa's one that it's a big program, but I think compared to other Star Alliance programs, there are more competitive ones in terms of what are we trying to do? We're trying to give people choice. So if they've got Lufthansa or another program, I think in terms of Star Alliance, the Air Canada Aeroplan program is really good. We're talking with United as well. So if you've got United, do you really need Lufthansa? Or if you've got Aeroplan, do you really need Lufthansa?
Okay, Sid, I think from a Australian standpoint, I can see where you're coming from. It's just that from the US standpoint here, there are a lot of airline programs that have Aeroplan already. So I feel like there's an overlap on that part. Although I'm not going to ever say no to Aeroplan. I think Aeroplan is a great position for you guys to be in. But I think if you're looking for unique partners that maybe no one else has, I think Lufthansa is definitely one. I think someone would say,
Yeah.
oh, raise an eyebrow. Oh, nobody else has that. Oh, like Gene's just saying here about Korean Airlines. I think there's some sweet spots that many of us in Points to Miles know about, like Korean, like Lufthansa, that is very difficult to earn outside of getting a credit card and things like that. I think those are sometimes
Yes.
the things that we're looking for. So not to say you shouldn't go get
Yeah,
air,
that's a great point.
but for some of us here in the US, to say Air France, which is great. I mean, that's awesome because we need more Flying Blue miles. But some of the other programs that I'm interested. Air India, Maharaja Club. Yeah, I'm actually interested in
Yeah,
what Hainan can do. I mean, not to say that everyone's going to use that program, but it does create like a differentiation sometimes in some of these programs.
absolutely. That's a really good point. Yeah, we are chatting with Korean Air because they're really hard. The issue with Korean Air right now, I wouldn't say issue, but they're doing this big integration with Asiana because they're buying Asiana.
Yeah.
And so they've got, and there's a lot of regulation and all of that. So I think that once, and they just announced something yesterday that they'll keep running the Asiana frequent flyer program for another 10 years. But I think once they get past that, they'll start looking at expanding partners and things like that. But we are in communication with them. And yes, definitely looking to bring some unique partners on board. And you'll see that. I think Hainan, for example, is a really good one. If you go to China and you travel internally, I think they have like 19 airlines that are owned by the Hainan airline group, and they're basically, you can fly all over China through them. You can also fly. They also own Hong Kong Airlines.
Yeah.
So if you fly to Hong Kong, you can basically go all over Southeast Asia with that carrier, and they've recently started flights from Hong Kong to Australia as well.
I think Hong Kong Airlines, if I'm not wrong, I thought they had one flight to LAX.
You could be right. Yeah, I think maybe they did before COVID. I don't know if they've reinstated.
I don't know what they're doing right now. That's correct. That's true.
Yeah, because a lot of the China and Hong Kong were in lockdown for a lot longer than we were. So a lot of those old routes haven't come back. But as I said, they recently launched Sydney, and they're now doing Melbourne as well. But so HNA is Fortune Wings Club is a really good carrier program. For China.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, folks, I think one of these days we got to do a dive into Hainan, but I know a couple other programs right now are adding them on, so it's good to take a look at it. Yeah, let's go to your travel club. I think that's going to be where the status.
So no, that's okay. I think we were so we've partnered with a hotel booking platform called Little Emperors, which is, if you've used an Amex Fine Hotels and Resorts program, it's similar, but it's like that on steroids, as they say. So they've got 5,000 hotels, and when you book through them, if you book through them, they will actually have someone call your hotel and try to get you the upgrade. They're not just going to go upgrade on request. They'll actually call the hotel or email the property and try to get you that upgrade. So they have when you book through this engine, you basically are guaranteed the best prices. So you pay either the same as Booking.com or less. You get free breakfast, you get $100 room credit, you get early check-in and late check-out, and you get a upgrade, like a priority upgrade request. So not just upgrade on availability. And you also get your points, and with a number of properties that you actually get double your points through them, which is really unique. And so that hotel booking service, they typically charge, I think it's $400 US just for that booking service. The next benefit is yearly press reader access. So you get access to thousands of newspapers and magazines. On the gold tier, you get 2,200. And on the platinum tier, you get around 7,000 publications. Then the other element is the premium flight and hotel search. So you can search for award flights and hotels, and that's available in gold and platinum tiers. And then we also have a couple of add-ons that you can get. So Priority Pass. We've got a really great offer, which is around 33% cheaper than buying it direct. So it's $299 US for a year. And this is the full Priority Pass. A lot of credit cards have the Priority Pass where you don't get access to restaurants or some of those other spa experiences or whatever it is that they have. What I like to do, because I've got this pass myself, what I like to do is, even if I've got access to a lounge, I'll go to a restaurant and have a proper meal. Usually the quality is better, and have a proper meal and then head to the lounge. So this includes the Global Priority Pass restaurant service. And then we also have this AirMed MediJet service. So if this is something that that is of interest, maybe you go skiing a lot, or you're out, doing adventure sports or whatever it is. This provides global coverage as long as you're more than 500 miles away from home. They will charter a jet and get you to the nearest quality hospital or whatever it is. So again, this is quite discounted compared to if you were to buy it through the service directly.
So this is the medical evacuation where they'll fly out, and this is $79 a year.
Yeah.
That's a great deal, by the way. I don't anyone's ever looked at one of these MedJet policies. These are pretty expensive. And I think we had talked about this. I alluded to this group earlier. It was about the priority pass. So this priority pass you're saying that they get with this one will include restaurants?
Yes.
Oh, wow. And did they just...
And I've personally tested this myself, so I can, because I found it quite frustrating when I travel. There's lots of options for restaurants in the airports that I go to, and I've got a priority pass through my Amex Platinum card, but I barely use that anymore because this one is so much better. As I mentioned, you can go to a restaurant and then use it at the lounge, or if you've got lounge access, you can have a really good meal in an airport restaurant. And I find that it easily covers me for a main and sometimes a drink as well. So it's pretty good.
Does that priority pass card look different, the one that you have from this versus the one that you would get from the credit cards from the Amex, for example? Would they look differently?
No, they don't look different. Ours is digital, so you don't get a physical card, but I don't carry my physical card anyway. It's just done through the app. Okay. If you purchase this, you basically fill out your details, and then in 1 or 2 days you get your priority pass account, and you just use their app. You just show your card digitally, and it all works the same as a normal priority pass.
I mean, here's the thing I'm thinking right now. If I lived in San Francisco and I had priority pass restaurant, I mean, I would use the heck out of that thing. I mean, some of you guys live in a city that has airports with priority pass, and it totally makes sense. Like LAX doesn't have one, so it's not as valuable. But if I lived in San Francisco, I mean, I would have coffee dates at the airport all day long.
The thing is, you have to show
a boarding pass. I get it. I get it. But there's ways to get boarding passes, folks.
Yes.
That's not a problem.
There are. We do. We are forced to put in our terms and conditions that if you mess around with it too much, then we are they're allowed to restrict.
Guys, don't abuse it. I totally get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. But I'm just saying, I think there's huge value in just that part alone. Sometimes we don't appreciate it until it's gone. I had that access so long, and I just didn't go through airports that had the restaurant. But when I did use it, I was like, oh, it's great because by the way, is it credit for one person or is it 1 + 1?
Yeah. It's one person.
One person.
No person, yeah.
Okay. And does that mean too that if my wife wanted to get one, she can get one too, and they're just paying for the fee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just per person. So you just sign up as a passport member. You don't have to be part of the paid tiers. You can just sign up as a free silver member and add these to your membership. These are separate to the paid tiers.
Okay, so folks, you could sign up for the silver tier, which is free, and then just do the add-on of $299 for the lounge pass if you want to do that. Can we talk a little bit about the tiers and how they cost and things like that, Sid? So just so everybody understands what they look like.
Sure. So the tiers are silver, gold, platinum. silver is free, gold is $199 US, and platinum is $299 US. They both have this hotel booking engine, which I've mentioned, called Little Emperors. The difference between the gold tier and the platinum tier is that on the gold tier, you can book for yourself and your family. For the platinum tier, you can actually give your friends and family or your employees or whatever it is their own sub tier under your account, so they can then book for their family, or they can book for for the business or whatever it is. So it's really like and that's called the Dynasty membership, which they typically charge £1,500 for. So that's what's pounds to US dollars, like 2,200 US, I think. So that's the key difference between the gold and the platinum. What I say to people is that when you're booking through Little Emperors, you're getting all of those benefits, which are worth anywhere from $400 to $600 on a 3-night stay. So you easily recoup your funds, and the coverage is far higher than Amex. They also have more of a concierge service. So if you have some change that you want to make, you just WhatsApp them. You don't have to sit in a queue on live chat or whatever it is, or in a phone. They're very responsive, and all of their rates are not all. Most of their rates are the refundable rates. So you have, a really really good flexibility when you travel with them. Press Reader, I think a lot of your readers have potentially used Press Reader over the years with, I know a lot of like airlines and hotel groups offer them while you're traveling. This gives you Press Reader year round. The difference between gold and platinum is that on gold, you have 2,200 publications. On platinum, you have, I think it's around 7,000. And typically, Press Reader will charge around, I think it's 600 US for that platinum tier membership. The premium hotel and flight search. So we use a service that's also used by Built and Daily Drop called Aways. And I believe they charge around 150 US for that flight search for the year. That's also included. It's unlimited on platinum, and then there's a smaller usage amount for gold, but for most of your purposes, that should be enough. Depends on obviously how much you're booking. So quite a lot of value for each of those tiers.
Sid, there was a question. Does the hotel piece of it, the booking engine, require a minimum stay? Does it need to be 2 nights or 3 nights in order to be able to use that booking engine?
No.
So 1 night stay works?
Yeah, 1 night stay works.
Oh, okay.
And when I've been to the properties that I've booked through this myself, because I've been, prior to launch, I was playing around with lots of different booking engines. I've got Amex, I've got some other Virtuoso, I've got a discount ones. And what I found was that when I booked through a discount booking engine, I would often get a pretty average experience at the hotel. I would often get like the most basic room available. Whereas when I've booked with Little Emperors, I've gotten an upgrade. I think out of 7 or 8 bookings, I've had 1 booking where I didn't get an upgrade. Always get really, really well looked after, and the staff, you do get treated like a VIP when you book through the service. It's I know a lot of people say VIP booking engine, but I've when I was making this program, I tested a whole bunch of different booking platforms and engines, and found this the most value It may not be the cheapest, but it was the best experience and the most value. Jeff?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I have a question. Like, so booking through this your travel the travel club or travel portal, like, does it, for example, if I go to higher property, am I still able to get my global list and then get my higher points accumulate? Or basically, if I book through this, it's kind of like OTA. I won't get any points. I only get like passport point. Yeah.
No, you get all your Hyatt benefits.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then
and you're fully recognized.
I see. And then the rate will be like kind of like MS Travel, slightly higher than like the direct booking, or it's about the same.
No, I've the testing that I've done, I've always found the rate to be either rate parity. So I don't know if you know what rate parity is. That's the agreed rate that publicly can be charged. So that's what Booking.com or Hotels.com or big OTAs charge, or it's been cheaper. So I have done some. I might just share our page for that service. I'll just stop this for a second.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Pull up the page because it's we have done some comparisons, and you will see the value for that. Let me pull that up.
By the way, Sid, you don't know this, but like we have people in this call that like they have like a Brazilian market, a Canadian market, a Chinese market in this.
Right. Okay. Can everyone see that?
Yeah, we can go for it.
Right. So these are some of the benefits that you get, but I ran some numbers. For example, this was a stay at the W. So they had a lower rate than the hotel website, and theirs was refundable. You got this extra benefit, the room credit, and so basically you got $1,627 worth of value, and you paid around what's that, $140 less than the hotel website, and you still get your points, you still get all the recognition. So if you're a Marriott gold or diamond or whatever, then you still get recognized with that. And the really cool thing about this platform is that you can put in your loyalty member numbers. And for example, if you're booking a Hilton property, they'll actually give you the Hilton discounted rate as an option, but you book through them. So, and a number of their Hilton properties have extra or double points as well. Nobu in London, again, you're getting $400 of value there. Rosewood in Hong Kong, the upgrades can be quite expensive. You're getting almost $1,100 of value on this. What I found doing all this testing and trying all these programs was that I actually had a much better stay when I had perks rather than just getting a discount. Because the discount, you save a little bit of money, but with this you get a whole bunch of benefits. You're much more likely to get an upgrade, and if it's not a busy time, they will upgrade you a couple of 1, 2, 3 tiers. Again here, here you do save what is that? That's $70 roughly. You get an upgrade, breakfast, club lounge, all the loyalty benefits.
Is this considered a prepaid booking typically, or is it just a traditional booking where you're going to end up just swiping your card when you arrive to the hotel?
It depends on the hotel. They're all a bit different. Yeah. I've seen some where you get charged at a certain date as well. It's really depends. So here we go. So as a gold member, you get the travel tier, which is £299, which is around 400, I think 400 something US. And then the platinum tier, you get the ability to share the travel tier membership. So if you get this dynasty tier on the on platinum, you get to actually share with some of your friends this travel tier as well. So that's a really good benefit, and that's the difference between platinum and gold is only 100 US. So that's something, if you've got family members that are traveling pretty regularly, then that's something that could be really useful.
And Sid, when you have the membership in platinum, the status you're giving them is gold. Is that what you're giving them? You're giving them gold.
Essentially, you're giving them that gold travel tier membership. Yeah.
Okay.
So then they can book for their own families, or if you've got if you've got employees or whatever it is, then that's
Is there a limit on how many employees or family you can be able to add on that?
I knew someone would ask me about this, and I was going to look that up. But I've given it to I've given it to 4 of my family members. So I think there will be a limit, but yeah.
Right now it's kind of loose. Okay, I hear you. I know.
Well, it's not. I don't know if it's loose, but I've given it to 4 of my family members, and that's been okay. But yeah, I'll have to find the answer to that.
Okay, Jeff.
Yeah, I have 2 quick follow-up with that. So one is like for booking hotel using your passport portal, like is it like fixed multiplier like like MX 5X, or it's kind of rough like different property have like different multiplier? And the second one is like can you book for other people, and do I need to be physical present? For example, if I book for my friend, and then like do I still earn that, or I have to be with them to checking for that? Yeah.
So currently, if you book through this Little Emperor's platform, you don't earn passport points, and we're working on that, but it's just going to take a while. But you do earn your regular hotel points, and you earn towards status and all of that. It comes across as a not an OTA booking. And then if you book for your basically you can book for your immediate family in the travel tier, and then for your friend, what you would do is gift them. If you have platinum, you would gift them that membership, and then they can register their name and book all that.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries. Thanks for the question. So yeah, pretty. I think the Little Emperor's benefit is really powerful once you get to start using it, and I use all the hotel engines and also the program websites. I find it really easy to use, and as I said, the experience is markedly better than just booking through an OTA.
Sid, there was a question here on the Little Emperors. Are there more than one tier of Little Emperors? I know we have the gold and we have the platinum. What level of Little Emperor does gold tier get?
So gold gives you travel tier, which is £299, and then the platinum gives you dynasty tier. And this is the key difference with this is that you can book through. You can actually gift the travel tier to your friends and family. And oh yeah, and here it goes, Jeff. It says book for your family. So yeah. Jean's got a question.
Jean, go ahead.
Hello, I'm interested to see the shopping portal. Like, how are the earning rates for using the portal?
Sure. So the earning rates. So this is our portal. In terms of travel, we've got these partners. So we have, I think, around 400 or 500 travel partners, and so everything from budget to cruises to yeah, and these you earn these points on top of what your already earning with your credit card. So Europe Car, Etihad, Hertz is
When
good
it
one.
says up to, what's that
Yes.
mean?
So it depends on different they have these
Category.
categories. So online booking, Iberostar, some of them are not eligible. So we say, okay, if you use an employee purchase or a friends and family rate, they won't be eligible. Every partner has different earn rates and different. I'll actually use what did I use in the?
Sid, are there some that are like a flat rate as well?
A lot of them are flat rate, but some of them like a lot of the big retailers have exclusions. So, for example, Walgreens, you get just on standard purchase, you get 1 point. But then there's certain purchases where they'll say you don't earn anything.
Mm.
So we just to protect us, we have to say up to, because there are certain exclusions that exist. Not for every retailer, but just for some of the big ones. And I think there's, for some of these big ones, you're actually not allowed to offer points on some things as well. So if we look at like Aldo, that seems to be like up to 2 points for those. So yeah.
Sid, just quick question. How often do these multipliers change? Is it weekly, daily, or how often does that change?
I would say for the majority of them, it doesn't change very often. What we do find is that when there's periods like Black Friday, or also the lead up to Christmas, that's when they can be a bit of fluctuation, but it's usually always more points because they want to get that sale.
Okay, and I think Whitney
Can you sort by the best earnings?
Yes.
Multiplier?
Yeah. So we go most points. So these are the most. What I find is like we have a lot of partners. So yeah, it's a big range. So I think also what we encourage people to do is install the extension, because that will just prompt you. So if you land on a site that's a partner, then it'll prompt you to say activate the points, and it'll track them, and it'll also in your search results will say this particular retailer you can actually earn passport points on. So
Sid.
yeah, huge range of retailers. So we've got, like, say, Kate Spade here.
Sid, I know we're down to the last couple minutes here. Sid,
Sure.
last week we actually had SaveWise join us. They're kind of a conglomerate they pull like an aggregator of a lot of these shopping portals. I think there was
Yes.
a suggestion to at least be listed on there, would maybe give it some visibility, would be helpful.
Yes. So once we do a big upgrade of the retailers, which will be in the next couple of weeks, we will start that process of reaching out to them. I'm just I want to make sure that we're getting. We've got some like quite large retailers joining us, so I want to make sure that we have those onboarded before we do that. But that's a great idea. Yeah, they're doing good work.
Yeah, and Sid, is there so if there's a program that they should be getting started, what should they look at? Should it be the gold program, or what would you suggest? Like, what's the entry point if somebody were to start?
I think gold is a really good level, because it gives you most of the benefits that we offer, and in one hotel booking you'll get far more additional value than the cost of that. So you recoup that investment in just one hotel booking. But it's free to join, so I would suggest to everyone, just join as a silver member, have a play around. You can always upgrade. As a silver member, you can also do those add-ons. There's no additional. You don't have to be gold or platinum to do the lounge access or the MediJet. But yeah, we'd love for you to play around and give us any feedback. We are making improvements every day, adding partners, making it easy to use, and we want everyone to have lots of points.
And there's no app currently, right? Just the website.
No, the app is coming. I would say in early November. Our app will be ready, so you'll be able to shop through that as well. We do have browser extension that works on Chrome, Firefox, and Safari. On Safari, you can also install it. If you've got a mobile Safari, you can also install it on that. And yeah, otherwise you can just click through the portal, and that will track the points and get you started.
See, they all asking me right now. I'm getting messages like, "Is there a referral link? Will we be signing up under a referral link or not?"
Yes. So earn points. If you have then I don't know if you've signed up, but if you,
I do. I have an account. Let me see here.
Yeah, so you can just go to earn points and then refer a friend, and that's your link. That you can share with everyone.
Okay, I will drop that right now in the link, everyone.
And anyone that refers, you've got this little dashboard that shows you who you've referred and how many points they get.
All right. Sid, I appreciate you joining us for sure and getting it started. Folks, thank you so much for listening in and asking the questions I think are important to kind of help make this a successful program. Almost everyone here, Sid, is either, earning points and they're very familiar with it. So feel free, once you have that, launched and the app and everything, we'd love to have you back and come and share with us any questions, any updates on it as well.
Great. Thank you, Ben. I really appreciate the opportunity, and thank you everyone for the questions and the interest. Really good questions, and really been great to share this with you all. So thank you.
Much. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm hoping I can get into that Priority Pass restaurant now. At least there's hope.
There's hope. There's hope.
There's hope. All right, folks, this week we have on Thursday, we have Tim Kin from Rome.travel will be joining us. We'll be doing a demo on it. So if you want to know about how to use their tool for business and first class flights, we're going to be covering that on Thursdays. We'll have that. And then the following week, we have, what do we have coming? We have on the 7th, I have Ariana Arndale on skip lagging, and we have on the 9th, we have Kyle Olson from CNN _ we'll be talking about some travel trend stuff. So really excited about having that. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. We will see you all on Thursday for Rome.travel. Have a good night.